Bitcoin is moments away from breaking all-time highs. It's literally tagged to the exact cent on Coinbase. And the best part of all of this is that altcoins are only just about to get started. So on today's show, I'm going to reveal to you 3 altcoins that personally I can't stop buying and I foresee have a very, very bright future for the rest of this bull run. So make sure you smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get straight into the show. So Bitcoin pushing into that all-time high. You can look over here on Coinbase. If I zoom in and we pull that across from the prior high, we've literally wicked into it almost to the exact cent. So the question remains, will we break these all-time highs, or is this going to be a situation where we see a potential double top? Is this going to be a double top scenario? Let me know in the poll section below. There is a poll which you can vote on. What happens next? Bitcoin double top, or is it going to be Bitcoin going into price discovery mode, whereby we see new all-time highs pretty much, which could be as soon as today. So smash that bell notification, like this video, and we will assess what is the most probable outcome. Firstly, before I go into what happens after the all-time highs, I do want to just let you know, if there were hypothetically some scenario where you saw a double top, then you can go back to your chart patterns. This would start to look like a cup and handle formation, and you'll probably find very, very strong support over here, which will lead to much higher prices at a later stage. So keep that in the back of your mind's eye as you go about with your trading endeavors. And how long would it take to double Bitcoin's price once we break the all-time high? Well, we can look at the prior historical results as per 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 over here. In the prior cycles in 2013, once Bitcoin broke or peaked its head above that all-time high and officially made a new all-time high, it took only 18 days to go on and double that price. In November 2013, it happened again because there were 2 tops within that cycle. It took 10 days to double the price once again. In 2017, it took 84 days, so around 3 months. And in 2020, which was of course the last time we broke all-time highs, which was at that $20,000 price level, it took 18 days for Bitcoin to move up to $40,000. So will we see a Bitcoin price of $140,000, which is of course double that $69,000 level? Well, only time will tell, but it looks like it happens very, very, very abruptly. So that means that you want to be well prepared, and the majority of the gains are actually made within the altcoin market. I'll show you why in a moment. So if you look over here at cold-blooded Schiller as well, he says over here, what happened once we rallied to those all-time highs. Also look, the weekly RSI was at 87. We then rallied 232% in the 4 months following that. The first pullback was after 100% move occurred. So that was the first double that we had, which I spoke about now. And then we did a 30% correction. The current Bitcoin weekly RSI right now is also at 87. And that's comparing against the former weekly high. The similarities are good, which is positive. And then blah, blah, blah. He goes on to basically say we're going to accelerate, right? We're going to accelerate to the moon. That's what it looked like over there. You can see RSI crosses above. We consolidate, have a big push up, 100% move, 30% pullback, followed by another 130-ish%. So will we see something similar? That is the question. That is the major question. Well, it looks like the bidding won't stop. The spot buying continues, and you have over here from 𝗕𝗓𝗓, total spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume now surpassing $5.5 billion, and that was the second largest that we had yesterday. The second largest buys since the initial launch. BlackRock now with 2.4 billion, Grayscale 1.5 billion, Fidelity at 1 billion, and then you can see the rest of them obviously starting to increase their buys as well. So institutional FOMO is here, and retail have started to return, but they're not fully back. They're not fully back. They're only just starting to come, which means that you're definitely not too late. We're going to have a look at altcoins, which are primed to move. Some of them I just opened up longs on as soon as this morning. So I'll bring those to your attention, but smash the like button. Also review the poll results over here. Let's have a look quickly. You can see what happens next. Double top, 36% of the people still believe that. Bitcoin going into price discovery, 64% believe price discovery is next. Make sure to cast your vote and we'll review the actual data come the end of the show. So if you look over here, a major announcement just came out from BlackRock as well. BlackRock now plans to buy Bitcoin ETFs to put into their own strategic fund, which specializes in what they call preservation of capital. This means one thing and one thing only: relentless buying will continue, right? They're going to put Bitcoin into every single financial product that they can find their hands on, and that will send price, as he says over here, to infinity. Now, it sounds like an exaggeration, but technically Bitcoin's upside isn't really capped, right? Because fiat's downside is ultimately zero. So as long as fiat continues to trend down, Bitcoin continues to trend up because we measure it against different fiat currencies, right? So all in all, that's looking good. Trader Main as well coming out here with a pretty good post, Pareto principle. So for those of you who don't know what the Pareto effect is, it basically states that it's the 80-20 principle, right? The top 20% of people in the world own 80% of all the world's wealth, and this stands true with market cycles as well. 80% of all of the money will be made in the final 20% of the cycle. And I would say that we're probably about 45% of the way through this entire bull run, which means, again, you're early, you're still here just on time, and there is a lot of money to be made. So if you're fearful that you've missed out because Bitcoin is 0% away from all-time highs, then fear not, because Dogecoin is still 80% below prior highs. Keep it simple, right? So we're going to look at the meme culture. We're going to look at the meme coins. We're going to see what potential narratives might be next. There's a whole lot to look into over here. And now you can't always look at a prior coin and say to yourself, well, it's still 99% below all-time highs. So that means it's probably going to go up 45,000% to take out the prior highs. That's not the case. However, when you look at something like this, Dogecoin is actually one of the only coins that has taken out its USD highs cycle after cycle. And it's also outperformed its Bitcoin pairing when measured against Bitcoin each cycle, creating new highs. So we'll be looking at Dogecoin today as well. And if you look at it, we finally made it, guys. You can tell your mom we made it. We made it into Bloomberg. These nuts made it into a Bloomberg article, and you literally can't make it up. The meme culture is very, very, very strong right now. And I had a video, but I'm not going to play it today. It will take too long. Officially, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗢 also made it onto Bloomberg, right? So they made it onto Bloomberg television, not just in a news article, but actually onto TV. So it seems like retail are here in full force, but I like to buy the fear and sell the greed, and I did exactly that yesterday. I said thank you for all the support to the whale community. That's, of course, the private group on Discord who we traded this alongside with the whole way through. I said I can't claim a victory if it's going to be paper profits, so I have actually closed some of these positions, not all of it. I just took some off the table. I've left some on the table as well, just in case it runs for a second and third leg, which I think is possible. I took 17,991% profit on my 𝗕𝗓𝗢𝗢 trade, 8,668% profit on my 𝗕𝗬𝗙 trade. So the frogs and dogs have paid, but I've left the cats on the table, right? I've left the cats on the table. I've got LMEOW. I've got HEMULE or HEMULE, however you want to pronounce it. We'll revisit those as well. Those continue to remain on the table. And those are my trades, right? Those are the trades. I've left some of them open. I've now started to enter into new trades. This is the Bybit account. There's a lot of different trades on the table over here. You can see still got 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗢 on. Just left, took a lot of profit there. We got 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗢𝗓𝗡𝗧, 𝗕𝗢𝗓𝗓𝗡𝗧. We got Arbitrum, AVAX, Seller, CKB. DIM is one that's down. The majority of these are up. ETH is still on the table. Fetch AI, GMX, HBAR, IMX, Jupiter, Casper, Link. We got Manta, Metis, MNT, 𝗕𝗫𝗓𝗔𝗍. I added to my optimism position this morning. I also added to SUI and Say. We'll visit those now. Render, here you have it. Say, I was slightly down, but daily uptrend still remains. So added a little bit to those positions. We got Stark, we got Stacks, SUI, Tau, Theta, VRA, WIF is still on the table, but remember I took majority profits, and then Woo. those are the current trades. All of these are in the Whale Room Discord group. So if you do want more details on that, it's in the Discord over there. I'll show you some of the new trades that I'm planning on scaling into in today's show. Again, smash the like button, guys. Help me out over here. And if you look at the hourly picture for the Banter bubbles, you can see, well, there is a slight pullback, right? The outliers over here, we got Pulse Chain on the top left. We got Theta up 6.85%. So these are some of your top movers. If you look on the daily, though, most of the meme coins continue to maintain those gains. So all in all, that's looking pretty good. WIF, which is of course one that I took profit on, is down slightly. Now that's questionable. Is it that I'm that good a trader, or is it that many people were following me and also took profits because I took profits? I don't know, but I think WIF will still have another run. So if you're holding your WIF trade, I'll bring that up as well. We'll look at the meme coins. We'll review which ones still look primed to run. For me, it's pretty simple. I had a phenomenal trade, huge trade, very highly leveraged, and I just simply wanted to take some profits off the table. My spot trades remain. Fear and greed, extreme greed. We at 90. Let's see what happened the prior times within the last cycle. What happened when we were breaking into those all-time highs and the fear and greed was at these current levels? Was it a situation where we started to go back down again? Or was that price discovery? Well, if you look over here, this chart shows it really, really well. We can overlay the different signals, right? So all the different bottoming signals when the fear and greed was at extreme lows. And now we can look what happened when it got into that 90 to 100 zone. Well, here it is, right? This one was 2019. It marked a local top. We, of course, led into the pandemic dip over here, which is now a little bit of a different environment. This one over here, once we printed that very first level, and I think this is more similar to what we're seeing now, we printed that first level of greed. We started to break above those previous highs, and then price went absolutely parabolic and remained in that extreme greed zone for a number of months as price gravitated all the way up towards those $65,000 tops, which was the first peak that we set. And now you can see we've got the very, very first little green print over there of greed. So it doesn't necessarily mean bail out of your positions. Always remember this. The trend is your friend until the end of that trend. So if the trend is up, stick with that trend and continue to hold your longs and add on every single dip that occurs, right? You can see momentum is still here. There's still volatility expanding towards the upside. All in all, that looks good for the bulls. Continuation, right? High Block Capital shows over here what's happening with the cumulative liquidation delta. It is, of course, flipped to the positive side because we're about to break all-time highs. But unbelievably, many people are very, very scared, right? Total short to long liquidations is sitting at about a 1-to-2 ratio, which is not what you would expect. You would expect to see something around the 13-14 to 1, so 13 to 14 longs for every one short, but that's not what we're seeing. Unbelievably, the market is actually still pretty fearful even at these current levels. And if you look over here, what's happening under the hood of Bitcoin, all in all, it's pretty good, right? Everything is in alignment over here. You have the open interest, which is slowly climbing. It's not out of whack over here. You have the in alignment with, if price comes down, it's because spot and leverage are taking profits on their longs. And then ultimately, they're just reloading and sending it up, which means higher highs and higher lows is the name of the game. You can look over here as well if there's any major sell orders, and so far there hasn't been. Every single sell order that gets put on the books over here is getting liquidated. They're getting completely taken out of their positions. Look at this one over here. This is literally free fuel to send price higher. 332 Bitcoin sell orders, that's going to be captured, boom, taken, immediately filled, sends price to the next level. The next one's coming up at $70,000, slightly bigger, 432 Bitcoin size orders, probably just going to get immediately absorbed and send price higher. It's free liquidity for the taking. There's nothing to be concerned of yet, at least from what I'm seeing. I'd be looking for 1,000 Bitcoin size orders or even more. You don't want to be shorting a trending move like this. It's something that I've covered on yesterday's show as well. And more than likely, we're going to make those all-time highs today, at some point today, probably when the stock market opens. Bitcoin dominance, definitely one to keep an eye on as it's moving into a rising wedge pattern over here. That is a bearish formation. Now, it's something I discussed with the live session that I had with the Whale Room members yesterday. And what I basically said to them is that there's a sequence of events that you need to look at. You need to pay attention to the sequence. The sequence goes like this. First and foremost, the trend is the most important. The trend trumps all. That's not a very good, we'll leave it like that. That's a 1. Okay, that's a 1. The trend trumps all. So the Bitcoin dominance trend is clearly towards the upside. So it's an uptrend, right? Secondly, you want to focus on the ranges. The ranges are the next most important thing, which you can see this has been the range, right? So firstly, Bitcoin dominance was in this range. It then broke out and held this range. Therefore, you're also looking for technically higher Bitcoin dominance. It should be ranging between 50 and 60. But it's coming into a key level, which is the mid-range. That yellow box over there is the mid-range. So trend is still up. There we go. Trend is still up. Range levels, we're coming into a key resistance level. So point number 2, ranges, we're coming into resistance. Then thirdly, you can focus on chart patterns. What is the chart pattern? This is indicative of a bearish chart pattern, but you can't pull the trigger yet. Why can't you pull the trigger? Well, because what comes first? The trend. The trend is towards the upside. If the trend starts to show signs of weakness, which would look something like this, start to show signs of weakness, maybe you put in a little bit of a lower high and you're breaking out of this chart pattern, then you can say, okay, cool. Now you can play all of this towards the downside because you're coming into resistance. The trend is showing weakness and showing signs of reversal, and the chart pattern is playing out in alignment with that trend. Then you have a trifecta trade, which means you're looking for low prices on Bitcoin dominance. And that means that ETH BTC should rally towards the upside, which we're already seeing signs of. It started to get a bit sketchy, but we have the low, we have high low 1, and now we have high low 2 coming into that downsloping trend line over there, which governed prices all the way towards the downside, breaking and backtesting into that as support, and it still looks set in motion, right? The trade looks set in motion, which means I'm paying attention for potential breakdown in Bitcoin dominance. So for those of you who are new here and you have absolutely no clue what I'm saying, it simply means this. If Bitcoin dominance comes down, altcoins are going to the moon, which means you want to long your longs and look for coins that haven't yet popped, and then you're going to make a whole lot more money. And if you're still confused, please chat to your peers in the comment section over there. I'm sure somebody will help you out. Just don't send them any money because there's scammers in the chats as well. Okay. Total 3 also showing signs that this is likely to take place on Bitcoin dominance because it's moving towards the upside, and we're still pushing up towards our intended target at 830 billion, which is around, I think it's another 20% towards the upside. There it is, 22% before we find any resistance. So looking very, very good. Now, I got a lot of charts open over here. I have how many of them? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 charts over here. Very simply put, I've put on Renko. Renko is that Japanese candlestick chart technique or candles that you can use, and it removes all the noise. So you don't have to get too, you can kind of use this as your watch list, which is what I'm doing. Very simply put, what am I seeing over here? Bitcoin on the top left, strong trend continuation. Casper top right, also about to re-establish a strong uptrend. It had a little bit of a pause. Ethereum bottom underneath over here where my cursor is, strong uptrend. Solana, strong uptrend. AVAX about to start a strong uptrend. This is one that's on the watch list, which I've recently added longs to. Injective, another one. Also recently started to add longs to that one. Strong uptrend. Renko is long and strong. MATIC also long and strong. And then most importantly, we've been playing the meme coins. Dogecoin would be the meme coin indicator. If Dogecoin is strong, the meme coins continue to push towards the upside. Okay, if you appreciate this, smash the like button, guys. It helps to get the show content out there. If we get to 1,500 likes, I'll take your altcoin request on today's show. And then let's continue. Very quickly, Bitcoin above all time frames that matter, above all moving averages that matter, and above the pivot level. Now, there is something that's going to be coming up, which I want you to already keep in your mind so that you don't have to make a tough decision when the time comes, and that's the moon phases, right? The moon phases have called it incredibly well. Watch out for potential local top on Bitcoin coming in pretty soon. It should be on Saturday or Sunday. So going into this weekend, you want to pay attention for potential local top on Bitcoin. If we do see a local top as per the moon phases over here, printing that bearish moon coming on Saturday, I think it is, then you can expect a little bit of a pullback. That should form a higher low, and then you can build new long positions. All right. Bitcoin over here, this is your trend. We broke out of the range level over here. Any tests that come back into that zone are going to be wonderful opportunities to get long again. That's at $63,000, right? Where does the whole thing start to fall out of bed from a bearish perspective? Well, if you see Bitcoin breaking back below this range over here, which means it needs to get back under $60,000, then you do actually have a potential double top, which is playing out. But as mentioned, that is still going to be a cup and handle formation. So even if you do see something like that and you pull all the way back down to $55,000, something like that, that's going to be your handle, right? Which ultimately results in an incredibly bullish formation. So pay attention to that. It is, of course, a possibility. If we look at chart prime indicator, again, also showing you a little bit of overhead resistance. You're coming into that premium zone, which is the grayed out area, but the momentum oscillator underneath is still rising. The money flow is increasing towards the upside, showing you that new money is still coming into the market for Bitcoin. And for Ethereum, let's have a look what's happening over there. Same thing. Money flow is rising and increasing towards the upside. There is new money that's coming into the market. Your Ethereum premium zone is going to be coming in around or just under that $5,000 mark. Okay, this is a whole suite of different indicators. You can see over here on Chart Prime on the weekly, price came into the discount zone over there. Money flow printed a buy signal, and that was when Ethereum was sitting all the way back down at $1,400, long and strong. If you want to explore these different chart prime indicators, there is a promotional link which you can use in the description below. It'll take you to this page. You can try it risk-free for 7 days. Use the link in the description below. Sign up. They give you full training on it as well. You can join their Discord. Check that out. We'll use it in a little bit to look at a couple more of the altcoins. Okay, so here you have meme coin top callers out in full force. As he says over here, Doge BTC looks like this. So what this means is Doge is showing signs that it might start outperforming Bitcoin. We'll review my chart of that, but it's something to put on your watch list because it's not the only chart that's looking bullish for Doge, right? You have Dogecoin breaking above currently a key high time frame resistance, which is this underside resistance over here from the prior cycle top. And as mentioned, it's still 80% below its all-time high in USD pair values. We know that Elon Musk is involved, and Elon Musk could still pump Dogecoin, which still means that, of course, the meme coin trade is still there. Remember, my on-chain positions are still on the table, and I've just taken a little bit of profit, right? I've just taken a bit of profit on my meme coin. So he says over here, Doge has left the accumulation phase. The market cap can easily be more than 200 billion with the X payment integration. We spoke about that on yesterday's show. If you missed it, go and watch yesterday's show. There is payment integrations in the pipeline, which will be integrated into Twitter or X, of course, with a massive user base that will create a lot of volume and demand for Dogecoin. Okay, so bullish for Dogecoin. Let's continue. We're going to go into the altcoin request in just a moment. Very, very quickly before we do that, let's just see how quickly. This is some of the long trades that I've just entered into, Casper being one of them, right? You have Casper, which created a long-term range. It broke out of that. We played it all the way to the top side over here. Once it set in that lower high, we got out of some of our Casper position, and then we started to re-enter around these low regions. Now, it is possible that Casper will come down to the 14 cent zone. It is possible that you might see something like that, but when the market's moving like this, I would still want to have a little bit of exposure within this area. So even if it meant that I'm buying these zones over here, I'll be looking to scale into Casper like that. Now, this is one of these coins that I personally don't want to stop buying, right? Until the trend shifts towards the downside, you want to long relative strength. And Casper's had extreme relative strength compared to the rest of the market. It outperformed Bitcoin as well as all other altcoins for a good 2 years, right? So for a long, long time. I see your guys' comments over there. Curve, Casper, Injective, Fetch, Phantom, ADA, Myro. We'll look at all of those. Myro just listed on Bybit, so it's starting to move pretty aggressively. I tried to take a position on Myro, but it said that I have risk limits, and I was like, I don't have time to adjust these risk limits. So Casper is one of them, right? The other one that I've added longs to over here is Injective. It is Injective, very, very similar to Casper. It's been one of the top performers, forming this range, right? So maybe if you're lucky, you'll get down to 29, but the only way that happens is probably if Bitcoin rejects from this potential double tops zone and doesn't break out to all-time highs. I think that's less probable. The more probable outcome is that Bitcoin breaks out to new highs, and consequently, you're going to see Injective and Casper running towards the upside. Another coin that I've taken a position on is AVAX, right? Okay, for AVAX, anything within this zone over here is going to be a decent zone, right? Anywhere within this zone is going to be a decent zone. So down from about 37 up to about 44 for a spot hold. What is spot hold? Again, for the newbies, it means that you're just holding the underlying asset. There's no leverage or futures trading that's involved. You're just buying and holding AVAX, right? AVAX on a weekly time frame looks like this. Let's quickly show you. So there we have it. It broke out of a falling wedge formation, similar to now Bitcoin dominance is in a rising wedge. Falling wedges are bullish, right? Broke out of that, came to backtest this region as support, holding that as support. And as soon as this gets above 53, you're going to see a whole lot of talks about AVAX again. AVAX's first level of interest is going to be up to 96. And then after that, you can start to challenge those highs. Now, as a percentage gain from here to here, is already going to be looking at about 128% move. And then you can also look to the games, right? Once AVAX moves, the gaming sector will probably also move. So we can start to forward look and think about things like the gaming sector. So Psycho or Altcoin Psycho says over here, I think the rotation on deck will look like this. Remember, in crypto, for new people, it's important to look at how the money rotates, right? Liquidity tends to flow together. So as liquidity starts to leave from one narrative to the next, then you want to start to play that narrative. That's how you make quick money. So first it was Bitcoin, then it was meme tokens, round 2. Then we're going to go into mid-cap, large-cap alts. This is why I'm looking at Casper, Injective, and AVAX. Blue chip alts, which happen to also be those ones. They also fall within the blue chip alt sector. And then you're going to go into large cap alts, breaking all-time highs. And then it's the full-blown altcoin season where everything rallies. So those are some of the plays, right? Low caps. These are the low caps that we have, right? Very, very low caps. This is sub $3 million market cap. Very, very small, but it's holding the chart, right? The chart principles still remain the same. We started to form a range over here. You can see a little bit of an uptrend forming. Higher highs and higher lows, bounces off that level. Comes into this zone over here at 1583, starting to bounce, holding the mid-range level. Let's see if LMEOW can get above that level. To be clear, this is LMEOW on ETH. So it's wrapped ETH. If you were somebody to buy this, you would have to use Uniswap, right? If you look at HEMULE, Vitalik's cat, also coming into a key area of support, this level needs to hold, right? All the way down to about 1152 is a demand zone for HEMULE, where you'd want to see a little bit of support come in. One of our researchers yesterday spotted also the OKX team liking the HEMULE posts. So maybe there will be a listing. The other one that I'm holding still on chain is 𝗕𝗤𝗢𝗢, which is on ETH. This is the Ethereum version. And the basis of this trade was playing that the market cap over here at 3.2 million might close in on the 𝗕𝗤𝗢𝗢𝗢 on Solana's market cap, which I think is about $200 million at the moment. I'll have to double check that, but somewhere around there. Okay, so you can see HEMULE following Shiba Inu's token price action in the same sort of way that it did in 2020. $1,000 invested is tracking along almost exactly the same timing-wise as what happened with Shiba Inu. So the rest is to be continued, right? This is, of course, a correlation game. There's no guarantee that something like this will happen. But nevertheless, I find it interesting. I'm slowly but surely observing how this plays out. And maybe this cycle will be a cycle where people rotate from dogs into cats, right? So from the dog tokens into cat tokens. Okay, other trades that I've been taking. I took a position, of course, on Injective. I'm down ever so slightly. That's the entry level. I'll be looking to scale this position up more if I can. But you can see higher highs, higher lows. The trend does persist. If you are trading on BitGet, also there is currently a competition. The link is in the description below. You can participate in that competition to win part of a prize pool over here. So BitGet and Bybit are both offering sign-up bonuses of up to $30,000. What's more important about that, if you do sign up, you can participate in the Win a Bitcoin competition, right? So to be eligible, you need to have a Bybit or BitGet link. It's in the description below. Use one of those links, sign up. That also qualifies you to it looks like these Apple Vision Pro giveaways. Guess the price of Bitcoin. The closest guess by the 15th of May, as the clock strikes 12, is going to win. Not half a Bitcoin, not 3/4 of a Bitcoin, but a full Bitcoin, which currently is valued at $66,538. So that is going to go away to one lucky viewer. So make sure that you participate in that. And then let's get into some of those altcoin requests. While you drop those altcoin requests, I want to show you AVAX, Injective, and Casper on a weekly time frame using that stochastic RSI. You can see over here, bottoming over here, starting to turn up. So if AVAX can clear some of those key levels at about $45, this will confirm AVAX's stochastic RSI to turn towards the upside. Let's go to Injective, see what that one looks like. Also, you can see over there, bottoming out. There's a lot of room towards the upside. This pause and consolidation within these strong coins has created an opportunity for the RSIs to reset and momentum to reset. Here you have Casper. Casper is still moving towards the upside. Let's see if we get another big push up on Casper. What about the other ones? NEOW, how's NEOW doing? Okay, NEOW still trending towards the upside. We are still long on NEOW, right? I'm still holding the long trade on NEOW. Let's just quickly zoom out. What is going on over here? All right, there we have it. One second, I got it. Okay, NEOW. Where's my NEOW trade? How is the NEOW trade looking? Okay, NEOW trade, we're doing phenomenally well. We're up 1,093% on NEOW. Let's go on to MATIC. How's MATIC looking? Okay, MATIC still flipped this key level, looking strong, looking good. Atom. Also, still in the long trade over here on Atom. That was the long trade that we gave. All of this has been dropped in whale room. Cardano, also one of the retail coins that they love to trade, right? Bouncing off the support at 44, moving up to our first target, which is coming in over here at $1.18. Let's go to ZETA. How's ZETA looking? Okay, weekly time frame, not enough history. This is a new coin. Ethereum, I also believe, is one that you should have on your watch list. Any dips that occur on this are opportunities to buy when liquidity flows back into those alts, right? Okay, you guys are asking for 𝗬𝗓𝗡. Let's quickly go to 𝗬𝗓𝗡. Okay, let's go to 𝗬𝗓𝗡𝗓. How's 𝗬𝗓𝗡 doing? 𝗬𝗓𝗡 and Filecoin we'll revisit now. Okay, 𝗬𝗓𝗡 looking good. Very, very bullish candle towards the upside. You're going to have a little bit of resistance coming in at $41. Thereafter, you can start to target 61. So if 𝗬𝗓𝗡 can close above 41, next target is going to be $61. Filecoin. Let's look at Filecoin. Remember, Filecoin was leaving a very, very high time frame range. Just make that a bit bigger. Okay, it hasn't completely broken out of that range yet. This was our support level, prior resistance flipping into support. Now you have a little bit of resistance over here. You've already closed a weekly candle above there. So long as Filecoin doesn't come back below $9.86, it should be trend continuation. And your first target is all the way up at $25. I'm bullish on Filecoin. I'm holding this position over here. Another 148% move towards the upside. A reminder that if you do want to get more of this information, it is in Whale Room. That is the private community group over here. It's not just me. You have Mo as well, top trader Mo. You have 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓. You have 𝗕𝗓𝗓 group as well. These are other traders which are constantly dropping all different trade opportunities. Feel free to join the group over there. We'll be doing an induction for you guys later on this week for anybody that's new there. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'm going to cut it off there. Let's not leave it too long. Appreciate each and every one of you. Trade safely out there, and let's see if we break those all-time highs. Catch you all on the next one. Cheers for now.